Alright, so over the last few months, the heated debate of if Apex Legends is dead has really ramped up, with absolutely everybody having an opinion on it, whether that's a pro player, a full-time content creator, just discussions on Reddit, on Twitter. Everyone is just hammering the game, and I thought, you know what, everyone else is doing it, why don't I do it? But no, in serious, I wanted to give my thoughts on it just as a casual gamer, right? Because that's all I am. I jump on this game, I play it for a couple of hours just like most people do, and then I'll hop off. I don't play this thing 8 hours a day or anything like that. I'm not a pro or anything, obviously, but I wanted to give my views just like a general player, of someone who loves an FPS game, and where I think this game is going, if it is dead. And ultimately, if it is dead, can it be saved? So for me right now, the major issue Apex has is being able to bring in new players / bringing back old players, because we know the pool's massive. At its peak, it had around 600,000 people online playing this game. That was just on Steam alone, I think. I think in total it had, I think when it first came out it was in the millions, right? It's never going to be that high again. But you could definitely bring into that like mid-season peak that it got a couple of years ago, where there was about 400 to 600,000 players all online, all on Steam, all in, across different games. It must have been closing in on like the million point again. And the reason that is because there wasn't many competitors out there, kind of thing. I think Warzone had started to die off because of cheaters. That's happening again, so this is the ideal time right now for Apex to try something to bring back those older players, or at least find a way to bring new players into this game. Because frankly, at the minute, it's just, if you're a new player going to this game, it is an absolute nightmare. And I know they tried to combat this kind of new player issue by, bringing in the training game or whatever it was at the start, where you play against bots and you kill them. And I know the first few games that you play in a lobby are genuinely a lot easier, because again, you're playing against either bots or brand new players like yourself. But ultimately, after 10 games, you're going to get chucked back into the normal lobbies, and you're just going to get absolutely destroyed by someone who's played this game for, let's be honest, most people playing this game now have probably played it since the start, 6 years, or they've been in the, played this game long enough that they know how to tap strafe, how to wall bounce, have got unbelievable aim, know all the weapons off by heart. And realistically, as a new player, you're just going to get absolutely destroyed, and that is not, an experience you want to have. You're just going to hate the game as soon as you're getting stacked by 3 players in like a pub lobby. That is just awful, and you're not going to enjoy that experience. And something that doesn't help that experience is the fact that the legends, when you're a new player coming into the game, are locked behind a wall, whether that is a paywall, or granted, you can unlock them by playing the game. But honestly, I remember when I came back to playing Apex, when I moved over from Xbox to PC, and at the time, it wasn't cross-progression or anything like that, so I had to unlock all the legends again. And I think originally, you still managed to get the original 6 legends, or whatever it was that, you started with. I know even now, they've got that limited down to even less. I think you only start with like 2 or 3, and you have to do challenges to unlock the others, and yeah, it just seems an absolute mess. When you look at something like Marvel Rivals that's come out, it's taken a lot of the player base away at the minute. That's a game that's come out, everything's unlocked, nothing's behind a paywall. The only thing you can get is kind of skins that you pay for, but all the legends, all the playable stuff that makes it enjoyable is all there. Whereas in Apex, it's not. You've got to slowly unlock them legends. And I understand the thinking behind it at the time, but right now, when you do look at something like Marvel Rivals, that has got a lot of praise for the fact that all of the legends are available and playable from day one. That is something that if I was at Apex now, I'd be immediately changing that. Get rid of what this challenge system is they've fetched in to unlock them all. Just unlock them all immediately so you can play them from day one, and you can have a bit of fun testing out different legends, or at least even going into the firing range and just toying about even there and learning the basics of Apex and stuff. Yeah, I do not understand locking them behind a wall whatsoever. And you look at the other side of it, you look at the legends, I say legends, the people that played this game since it came out, like myself, that have stepped away from the game and not played it as much recently, or have to stop playing it altogether. You've got to think about how to bring them players back. And I know for me, if I was to see, I know they released a new map earlier this year, well, last year now, but like that brought me back for quite a bit. I really enjoyed it. I loved playing it. I loved playing that revival mode they fetched along with it as well. It made Apex really fun to play. But again, it's one of those where, let's say you play revival for, 2, 3, 4 weeks, say a month or something like that. Eventually that gets boring. You've got to get rid of that and move on to something new to come out. And again, they're just really, really slow at bringing out LTMs that are fun, and they recycle so many. But they recycle them at such a slow rate. I mean, Winter Express, we all know that comes out at Christmas. I've not played it this year, Winter Express, because I have no interest in playing it whatsoever. Because I know what it's like. Nothing has changed on that game mode. It doesn't interest me whatsoever to come back to play that. Then you look at other ones like, Shotgun and Sniper event. We know for a fact that will probably come out again this year at some point because they recycle it. And I have no issues with them recycling them. It's fine. There's definitely some fun LTMs that they bring out over the time. My issue is that they need to be on almost 24/7. There needs to be an LTM playlist where you can just go in, and each week that changes. So, 1 week, Shotgun Snipers. The week after, I don't know, something like Dummy's Day Out or something like that. You know what I mean? There's something where it's constantly evolving, constantly changing, because you just don't have that in Apex. And the LTMs are, some of the funniest, kind of games that you can play, especially something like Revivals as well. I love Revivals, but again, they only ever bring it back for, they bring it back a couple of days the other day. It was literally chucked on for a weekend or something, and that, funnily enough, wasn't long enough, but they chucked it on for a week, that ended, and straight into another LTM, boom. That keeps people a bit more happy and a little bit more wanting to play the game. May not bring back new players. Like I say, new players will only ever come back if it's a new map. I understand that takes a lot of time to do, but new weapons is definitely something they could do. Now they've kind of cleared up the loot pit a little bit, and I understand why they took the weapons out of the crafter, but I'd happily see them go back in if it meant that there was more weapons available on the ground for us to use. I know they've kind of run out of most of the Titanfall weapons now, but why can't they just create a new one? You know what I mean? There's literally gaps where they could make something. We've never had a new pistol come into the game. That's something they should be exploring. Like a burst pistol maybe or something. Might not be, the craziest weapon to use, but at least it's something different. And especially now we've got Akimbo as well. 2 Akimbo, burst pistols could be pretty fun. So yeah, there's definitely ideas out there. And, from videos that I've watched people talking about this, like his Watson and stuff, where basically devs are putting stuff out, but they're just getting shot down by EA, saying they don't want them to do this, they don't want to do that, and that's a shame, because that will really kill the game if they're not allowed to experiment and bring out, fun new ways to play this game. And without fun new ways, without new weapons, without new maps, ultimately you're going to lose players, and you're just not going to bring the original players that loved this game back to it. So yeah, they're really failing there. So that brings me on to the fact if I think this game is dead or dying. And I don't think it's dead by a long shot. I still think there's plenty of life in this game still. At the time of recording, there's around 69,000 players online on the Steam version alone, and this is just before peak EU time. And yeah, that's not even counting people on the EA app or Xbox or PlayStation or even Switch if people are still playing this game on Switch. So you could assume probably that this would get up to around 100,000 players at least. So any game that is averaging around 100,000 players is definitely not a dead game. We do know the player base is dropping off ever so slowly every month. It seems to be getting less and less, but it's still fairly healthy even to fill all the game modes that we've got. So yeah, definitely not dead. However, in terms of kind of dying, I think it's, that is a reality that is potentially going to outplay in the next couple of years, unless they really, really fix this game and do something to get new players into it. They're going to struggle. If I was them, as annoying as it must be for them, I'd be looking at everything Fortnite's doing. Now, Fortnite's not a game that I like to play. I played it a long time ago for a couple of games and I didn't really enjoy it, but I know what's going on in that game right now, and I know how they're keeping players going, right? In the fact that their crossovers are insane, they're getting celebrities doing everything. That's just going to bring people in for a fact. Then you've got all of the different game modes and everything you can play. They've made it like a sandbox now, right? Where you can go in and make any kind of game mode you want. Why Apex doesn't do something like that, I have no idea. It'd be... Imagine the stuff that you could do. I've seen, again, his Watson do something similar where he did the kind of... the kind of trial where everyone was running kind of along this platform. We had to get to a certain point, and one person was trying to crib them all, and then he did like the Master Chief thing where they inputted all of the weapons from Halo into this game. Granted, they probably won't be able to do that in this game, but you could definitely have a play around and create some fun stuff. There's so many talented people out there, and they could just use them for free, right? By just saying, here's the tools of the game, go out there and make something. So yeah, there's definitely the ability to do some fun stuff with this game. It's just if and when the developers choose to act on that, and if it'll be too late, because like I say, it's not a dead game, but yeah, I can see, you know, the star is fading for this game, and it is getting concerning now with how many players are dropping off here and there every month. And then one kind of final message from myself in terms of, am I going to keep playing this game? Well, my last video came out a few weeks ago now, I think, off the top of my head, and I'll be honest, that gameplay, well, it was uploaded, was pre-recorded from ages ago, and I'm talking about 2 months ago. Okay, I managed to get enough gameplay footage in a week. I had a really good week on the game where I was doing, you know, a lot of cool stuff. I was playing kind of some good game modes, and yeah, some ranked and stuff, and yeah, I managed to get a lot of good footage. And that gave me enough to kind of pump out stuff, you know, for a good few months. And realistically, I've not wanted to play the game for a good few months. Like, it's not been something that I've been urging to want to boot back up and play immediately. It's not been something that, yeah, I've been itching to play for. And ultimately as well, you know, the people that I play with, like Jay and stuff, they've also been busy. So, you know, to play this game solo is just one of the worst experiences, like, ever. So I'm not playing this game solo whatsoever. I'll wait until someone asks me if I want to play this game. I do still love this game, and it is definitely one of the best FPS games I've ever played. And I've played a lot of FPS, but this has been such a good game, and I do love it. But, you know, when you've played this game for 6 years, it becomes hard to want to keep playing it. And I'm not going to say that I'm never going to play this game again, and this is it, it's done. I'm never going to upload an Apex video again, but what I would say is don't expect to see, you know, Apex content twice a week or anything like that. I mean, ultimately, I'm playing other games in the background, and I probably will start uploading them, or potentially move to another YouTube channel where I'll play other games that I have kind of big interest in playing and put a lot of hours into. So, yeah, we'll see. Like I say, probably won't be the last Apex video, but it could be the last one for a while. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my kind of comments and my opinions on it, and, you know, let me know if you agree or disagree and you think Apex can survive forever and will survive past, you know, maybe 10 years, who knows. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.